Any assignment also give, no, sir? You have to give assignment
Definitely. See, I
problems.
will post the assignment probably by evening or by tomorrow. That also I
Yes,
will.
sir, sure, sir.
Okay, let it be. Let
Thank you, sir.
others also join here, no matter. So what we have
Okay, sir.
discussed in the last class, transient heat conduction. Transient means which keeps on changing. So the conduction is keeps on
Timing.
with respect to timing.
Yes, sir.
So far, any
Timing.
conduction problem we have solved. So it was
Okay, sir.
independent of time we have considered. Whereas in this present transient heat conduction, these conduction problems we consider them as dependent on timing also. So that is what we are mentioning. So what is this?
In yesterday class.
Yes, yes, yes. Same thing.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Here, if you see, so temperature as a function of its position as well as timing also. Temperature as
Timing
a
also,
function
sir.
of its position. One of the coordinate position it is x means, and other two directions for simplicity's sake we neglect the temperature variation in other two directions. So therefore these are considered to be one-dimensional transient heat conduction problems. So one-dimensional heat conduction problems are simple to solve compared to multi-dimensional transient heat conduction problems. So that is why to get the analytical solution means, so like using of some formula, mathematical formula, how to get the temperature and how to get the rate of heat transferred. So this is what some specific relations are available. So those we can consider them as constant heat conduction problems. Simon Narayana.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, man. What were you doing?
Nothing, sir.
No matter, no matter. See, again, I will revise this what we have discussed in the earlier class, and we continue with the problems also further. So, as of now, only two people have joined, you and Santosh. No matter. So, this transient heat conduction problems are basically this is the conduction happening depending on timing. So, it doesn't depend on uh, other two coordinate positions, only one coordinate position for the solid we are considering. That is what I have mentioned here. T as a function of x comma t means suppose the solid is taken with three coordinates, along with two coordinates we are neglecting that there is no temperature variation, and the temperature variation is happening along one coordinate along with the timing also. Now, so in the earlier problems, we have neglected the consideration of time dependency for the conduction. Now in these problems, we are considering so dependency of timing also. So these kind of conduction problems, we treat them as one-dimensional conduction problems or transient heat conduction problems also. So transient heat conduction problems means these are the conduction problems which depend on timing also. So this is what all kinds of conduction problems they come under transient heat conduction problems in general. So for simplicity's sake, why we have considered one-dimensional means solving analytically. So three-dimensional problems is very, very difficult. So that is why for simplicity's sake, we have assumed one-dimensional conduction depending on timing also. That is what the meaning of transient heat conduction we have discussed. So which type of problems practically we treat them as transient heat conduction problems or one-dimensional conduction problems or lumped heat system analysis problems. A solid through which if the conduction is happening, if through this solid conduction is happening, so which type of problems we treat them as lumped system analysis problems or one-dimensional transient heat conduction problems. Either one-dimensional transient heat conduction problems or lumped system analysis problems are one and the same. There is no difference between this title, what I am saying, lumped system analysis and the transient heat one-dimensional transient heat conduction problems. So if you see a copper ball, which is a solid copper ball of some radius, which is initially that is kept inside the oven and heated to a temperature of 70 degrees centigrade. Then it is kept outside of the oven and exposed to the environment of some temperature. Some temperature, that is fluid temperature, T infinity. So then everywhere of the solid, if it is maintained with the uniform temperature, so that means it is not depending on radius. So everywhere of this spherical ball is having uniform temperature along the radius, that is the position. So there is no temperature variation. If this ball is exposed to the surrounding environment, so the whole ball at a temperature of 70 degrees will start dissipate the heat to the surrounding fluid. That means only in the form of convection, the whole copper ball will start to transfer heat to the surrounding medium. If the surrounding medium is at a temperature of T infinity, solid ball is at a temperature of initial temperature, this is 70 degrees centigrade. On losing the heat from the solid, what will happen? The temperature levels will come down within the solid. So that means we can say that there is a decrease in internal energy within this solid. So that is the decrease in internal energy here is same as that of, so that is the heat lost to the surrounding fluid in the form of convection. This is the equation we have taken. So this is, so the heat lost by the solid in the form of convection to the surrounding medium equal to, so that is the decrease in internal energy. So this is what is the solid of properties: mass of M, volume of V, density of rho, and the solid is at initial temperature of Ti. So in the previous example, what was the initial temperature? That is 70 degrees centigrade. After kept in the surrounding fluid of temperature T infinity, when solid is placed in a medium of T infinity, then at the boundary of the solid, the convective heat transfer coefficient also will exist. So why? Because convective heat transfer coefficient will come into action. Therefore, there will be the convective heat transfer coefficient also. The heat lost by this solid in the form of convection equal to the decrease in internal energy. Decrease in internal energy means mCp dt by dt. The capital T represents temperature, small t represents the timing. So these terms they have rearranged. All capital T terms are taken to one side and small t terms are taken to other side, and integration is performed. Integral of, so d of t minus t infinity by t minus t infinity, that gives ln of t minus t infinity by ti minus t infinity. Then when integration is performed here, these are all constant. So these are all properties, fixed values, some constant value we are getting as a ratio. Integral dt means t plus some integration constant also will appear there. Integration constant C1, how do you eliminate? That is from the initial condition, we call it as. What is the initial condition means? Before the solid started to transfer heat in the form of convection, that is at t equal to 0 seconds of observation or timing, what was the temperature prevailed with the solid, that we take it as initial condition. At a time of t equal to 0 seconds, the temperature available with the solid is known as Ti. So that was we have seen as in the earlier example as 70 degrees centigrade before it is exposed to surrounding fluid. What was the initial temperature here is 70 degrees. The same thing only is the condition. So now using that initial condition means at t equal to 0 seconds, what is the temperature existed within the solid, that is equal to Ti. In our earlier example, that value is 70 degrees centigrade. So that C1 also by replacing, now we are getting it as this final form of the relation. Minus T infinity by, so this is temperature after a time of T. This is T of T means that is the temperature after a time of T minus T infinity, that is surrounding fluid, minus divided by Ti means initial temperature within the solid, T infinity means again surrounding fluid. So that is equal to e to the power minus b. B means the whole value, Ha by rho Cp, rho Cv into T timing, that is. So by rearranging these constant values, so we are getting in terms of two non-dimensional numbers. So rearranging these terms, we can get, so the same relation as product of two non-dimensional numbers. One number is Biot number, Another number is Fourier number. If any one-dimensional transient heat conduction problem, so to say it as a lumped system analysis problem means, so the Biot number for that solid must be always less than 0.1. What is the meaning of Biot number here is? What is the meaning of Biot number here is? That is ratio between, you see the ratio between internal resistance to external resistance. What is the internal resistance for the solid is conduction resistance. What is the external resistance here is the having contact with the surrounding fluid, convective resistance. 1 by HA is external resistance. Internal resistance for the solid is L by Ka. L is the thickness of the solid, K is the conductivity, A is the area of the heat transfer area, that is. So that is, if internal resistance by external resistance is less than 0.1, so it's almost equal to 0. Almost equal to 0 means, what do you mean by this? Internal resistance is almost 0. Internal resistance is almost 0 means, what do you mean by that? There is no conductive resistance for such of a solid. If any solid to be considered as a lumped system analysis problem means, its internal resistance, the solid internal resistance, that means conductive resistance must be totally to be neglected, or it should be almost close to 0 when compared to external resistance or convective resistance. So that means, so only in the form of convection from the solid to surrounding, the heat transfer is happening. Within the solid, there is no change of temperature. Within the solid, there is no change of temperature at any particular time of observation. The quantum of heat capacity, heat capacity means mass of the solid into specific heat of the solid. Mass of the solid and the specific heat of the solid. So M into C otherwise. So M into C, knowing the density and volume, how do you get it? Rho into V by taking. So that also can be known as rho CV also. The same M also may be written as, why? Because rho equal to kg per meter cube into volume. So kg ultimately we are getting. So that means mass is nothing but the product of rho into V. Its specific heat is C as usual. That means product of mass into specific heat, we call it as, so heat capacity of the solid. So at any particular time of observation also, the heat capacity possessed by solid, the heat capacity possessed or the heat capacity existed within the solid, we call it as one lump or one energy packet, one energy content or one energy packet, we call it as. So that is what is. So therefore, lumped heat analysis means, that is what is the meaning. So lumped heat means, so at any particular time of observation also, the energy available within the solid, we call it as one lump. So that changes, and when the timing also changes. The lump of the solid, the lump means heat capacity, that keeps on changing, and the timing is also changing. So the lump, sometimes upon removal of heat, the lump value will decrease. Upon addition of heat into the solid from surroundings, the lump may be increased. It may decrease or it may increase depending upon whether it is added or removed. So that is what is. Lump is nothing but the heat capacity possessed by the solid, we call it as lump. So that lump is nothing but product of mass into its specific heat. Mass may also be written as product of density and volume. So that is why either M into C can be taken as lump or rho CV can be taken as lump. So that is what is. So that is the meaning of lumped heat conduction problem or lumped system analysis problem also. Biot number is less than 0.1 means internal resistance or conductive resistance is negligible. Only through convective heat transfer, the heat transfer is happening from the solid to surrounding fluid. There is no internal conduction is happening within the solid. Only solid by having constant temperature at a particular time. So then it started to transfer heat directly in the form of convection. So these problems are considered to be lumped system analysis problems. So practically, when is it possible? Internal resistance, when is it possible to be neglected? internal resistance, when is it possible to be neglected? Internal resistance, when is it possible to be neglected? So if a solid has infinite thermal conductivity, why? Because L by Ka is the internal resistance. L by Ka is internal resistance means, and this L by Ka to become 0, where L cannot be 0, A cannot be 0, only K should become infinity, then L by Ka becomes 0. So that means, so if a solid of having infinite thermal conductivity, we can assume that, so the solid always will have uniform temperature. A solid of having highest thermal conductivity, if a solid of having infinite thermal conductivity, such a solid will have internal resistance or conductive resistance is 0. But is it practically possible assuming infinite thermal conductivity for a solid? It is not practically possible. Therefore, so then which problems we say them as lumped system analysis problems means, if a solid of having surface area means the area occupied all around of the solid is much greater than that of the volume of the solid. For example, of an A4 size sheet, a solid of having A4 size dimensions, so it will have some length and width, thickness value is negligible, so the surface area is 2 times of length into width, whereas volume is thickness is 0, means almost volume is equal to 0. In this case, so to transfer heat from one side of the sheet to other side, no time it will take. That means when the solid of having much surface areas than the volumes, in that case the temperatures are always maintained constant. The temperatures are always maintained constant everywhere of the solid. So these problems we treat them as one-dimensional transient heat conduction problems. One-dimensional transient heat conduction problems. So these problems only we are going to analyze now. After getting the solution for that, so that is assuming that less than 0.1, that means its internal resistance is negligible compared to external resistance, and we have got the solution for such of the problem as T minus T infinity by Ti minus T infinity equal to e power minus of Bt, where B equal to HA by rho Cb into T. So here Biot number is just now we have seen that's value equal to, so here HL by K, that is rearranged. So that is rearranged as L by Ka by 1 by Ha, L by Ka by 1 by Ha. So that is why L by Ka is a conductive resistance and 1 by Ha is convective resistance. Conductive resistance is negligible, means only K must be infinity. That is what we have seen. But never be possible to assume K to be infinity value. Then when can we treat this problem as lumped heat analysis problem? Means its surface area must be much higher than its volume. Then no time it will take to transfer the heat from one side to other side. So all the times, so the uniform temperature is maintained for the solid. So in this of the Biot number, H into L by Ka is the Biot number we are saying, where L is nothing but the characteristic length, we call it as characteristic length. So what is the characteristic length for various solids means? You just see. So see here, for a slab of thickness 2L, for a slab of thickness 2L, for a slab of thickness 2L, the characteristic length, that is L equal to ratio between volume to surface area. Ratio between volume to surface area. As I have already told you, if an A4 size sheet of thickness is considered, let the thickness be of 2L. It has the width of W, height is or length is H. Then what is the volume? Length into height into thickness. That is the volume for the sheet. What is the surface area? So W into H is one side area, 2 times it has. So that is 2 into W into H. Then for a slab of thickness 2L, what is characteristic length? If thickness is 2L, half of the thickness is the characteristic length. Half of the thickness is the characteristic length. For a slab of thickness 2L, if it is, the characteristic length value is L. You must remember this. You must remember this. Very, very important. So that is what. For a slab of thickness 2L, so that is the characteristic length is L. That is equal to, how do you define that one, is ratio between volume of the solid to surface area of the solid. Suppose if a cylindrical rod is taken, cylindrical rod of outside radius equal to R0 if you take it. Again volume by surface area. What is the volume of the cylindrical rod? Pi R0 square is the cross sectional area. Length of the cylinder is, or height of the cylinder is L. Then the volume is this much. What is the surface area for the cylinder? 2 pi R0 L or pi D naught L. So that is equal to, both by substituting, what is characteristic length for a cylinder of radius R0 equal to R0 by 2. Suppose if a sphere of outer radius R0, if you take it, what is the volume for the sphere is 4 by 3 pi R0 cube. What is the surface area for the sphere? 4 pi R square. Therefore, dividing one over the other equal to R0 by 3. This is how the characteristic length will be calculated. Therefore, Biot number is estimated as, that is equal to HL by K or HLC by K. So that is what we have taken. See, HLC by K is the Biot number. K is the thermal conductivity of the solid. H is the convective heat transfer coefficient between the solid and the surrounding fluid. L is the characteristic length, which we have just now discussed. So that is what. Another non-dimensional number also we have considered. So what is that non-dimensional number? So that is Fourier number. Fourier number significance is, so that also can be rearranged and rewritten as alpha T by L means characteristic length square. This is characteristic length square, where alpha is the thermal diffusivity. So initially, when we have discussed the generalized conduction equation, K by rho C, that is nothing but the thermal diffusivity. Long back I have told you, where T is the timing and L is the characteristic length. Alpha T by L square is nothing but the Fourier number. So those alpha T by L square may also be rearranged as, so KL square into 1 by L into delta T, rho Cp into L cube by T into delta T. What is this numerator value it is saying is the rate at which the heat is conducting through the solid. The numerator value that represents the amount of heat conducted through a solid. So amount of heat. This is nothing but what is L square means? A, Ka by L into delta T. What is this value? Amount of heat conducted through the solid. What is this value, numerator value? This value equal to energy stored inside the solid. Energy stored inside the solid. So out of the stored energy, how much has conducted through the solid? The ratio we consider as Fourier number. So earlier, so when the solution is given for the one-dimensional or lumped heat analysis problems, so the solution is obtained as a product of two non-dimensional numbers. One number is Biot number, another is Fourier number. So the Fourier number significance is the ratio between quantity of heat conducted to quantity of heat stored inside the solid. If this is the solid, how much has stored, how much has conducted out, how much has stored inside, how much has conducted out. That is what is the ratio. It represents the Fourier number. So the significance also is explained here. If the Fourier number is larger, so then faster is the time fast. The Fourier number indicates faster propagation of heat through a body. That is the significance of the Fourier number. Significance of the Fourier number is faster propagation of the heat to the solid is explained. If Fourier number is smaller means it takes more time to conduct the heat to that of the solid. So less time it will take, faster time it will take to propagate the heat to that of the solid. That is the meaning. Faster propagation of the heat will take place if F naught is more. If F naught is smaller, so then the conduction will happen at a slow manner in the solid. So if F naught is higher means at a faster rate the heat will be conducted through. If F naught is smaller means so the heat conduction will take place at a smaller rate. That is the meaning of the other non-dimensional number. So that is what we have taken. So this is the significance of Fourier number and Biot number. Biot number tells you that whether the given conduction problem comes under lumped heat analysis problem or one-dimensional transient heat conduction problem or not. So by checking the Biot number value, so if it is estimated and found it as less than 0.1 means its internal resistance is negligible, then so this given problem will come under transient heat conduction or one-dimensional transient heat conduction problem that can be solved easily. So using the known relation which we have discussed. So then so this is what the same thing is explained here. The lumped system analysis is used or one-dimensional transient heat conduction problems are solved when Biot number is nothing but the HL by K which is less than 0.1. So you need to decide first Biot number by estimating whether the given conduction problem comes under transient heat conduction or not. So if the value is found to be less than 0.1, we decide that the given conduction problem is one-dimensional transient heat conduction or lumped transient heat conduction problem, and that will be solved. That will be solved using the known relation. Which is that known relation we have already derived? So that is the relation equal to this thing. So this is the relation by using we can solve it. Suppose if the Biot number is more than 0.1, the estimated Biot number value is more than 0.1, what should be done? The problem won't come under so the transient heat conduction problem, that has to be solved in a different way. So that may be of the methods may be of either finite difference method it may be, or it may be of finite element method or variable separable method. Any of these methods by using, you have to solve that transient heat conduction problem. Only a conduction problem for which Biot number is less than 0.1 only, you need to solve those problems using the known relation, that is nothing but this, that is nothing but the relation of this. If that is not the case, if Biot number is more than 0.1, if Biot number is more than 0.1, this cannot be applied. So you need to go for other kind of methods called as finite difference method, finite element method. That is not there in the curriculum. Only you have the problems of having Biot number values less than 0.1 only. Okay. So every time in the examination, suppose the Biot number is for a problem is more than 0.1 if we have estimated, you cannot apply the finite difference method during the examination time, or finite difference method or finite element method cannot be applied and solve that. So then what people have done here is, so using these methods, basically primarily the solutions are applied or the solutions are obtained. Those solutions are presented in some graphical method, some graphical form. The solutions are presented in the graphical form. Those solutions are called as Eisler charts. Eisler charts. So these are the solutions obtained for one-dimensional non-homogeneous problems. As I told you, suppose if the problems have, if the conduction problems have Biot number is more than 0.1, so as we are unable to apply the known relation for estimation of its temperature, you need to go for other kind of method that is known as numerical method. Numerical method also either that may be of finite element method or finite difference method, finite volume method. By applying, we have to get the solution. So here, every time we cannot apply to get the solution, the solutions for general problems are obtained, and those solutions are presented in the form of graphs. Are the, so what is that? Graphical form. The solutions are presented like this. You see here, there is one kind of what is that? The chart is presented. This also another chart is presented. This also another chart is presented. These charts are known as Eisler charts. Eisler is the is nothing but the solutions obtained for the non-dimensional or sorry transient heat conduction problems where Biot number values are more than 0.1 and the directly using the charts only the solutions can be obtained for the problems. So here if Biot number values for any of the transient heat conduction problem is more than 0.1 where momentarily finite difference method or finite element method cannot be applied. So those methods are already applied for the known cases and the solutions are plotted in the graphs. These graphs or the charts are known as Heisler. This was the work carried out by him on his name. So the charts are also known as Heisler charts. So this is, so what is the significance of this chart now? What is the significance of this chart here is, this chart, see here, suppose if we have the solid of thickness 2L, if we have the solid of thickness 2L, you just see here, if we have the solid plane of rectangular solid of thickness 2L, if you want to know the temperature at the middle plane means center of the plane, at any time, maybe at 1 second, maybe at 5 seconds, maybe at 10 seconds, maybe at 20 seconds. So when the solid is exposed to the surrounding medium of infinity temperature, that is surrounding temperature is T infinity, surrounding convective heat transfer coefficient is H. When this plane of thickness 2L is exposed to a medium of temperature T infinity, to get the temperature at the mid plane, we call it as mid plane or central plane. At any time of observation, maybe at 1 second, maybe at 5 seconds, maybe at 10 seconds, maybe at a 20th second, what is the temperature at the central plane? So that to be known, this chart is used. This chart is used. What is this chart is saying? The chart comprises of some ratio. What is this ratio? This is nothing but the ratio of T0 minus T infinity by Ti minus T infinity. What is this T0 here is? That is the center plane temperature minus fluid temperature or surrounding fluid. This is initial temperature of the solid minus fluid temperature. This is the ratio. This is the ratio which is that is considered on the y-axis. So what is the x-axis? It has alpha t by L square. That is Fourier number. It is taken on x-axis. Fourier number it is taken on x-axis. Alpha t by L square. Alpha, how do you get it? For a solid, alpha, how do you get it? That is thermal diffusivity. K by rho c is thermal diffusivity. K by rho, that is alpha value is K by rho c. K is the thermal conductivity of the solid. Rho is the density of this. T is the specific heat of this. That is alpha T. So T, suppose after a time of 5 seconds, if you are getting means alpha we have got it K by rho c. T equal to 5 seconds. What is L value? Characteristic length which we have already discussed. Knowing this and this, here, these are the plots made for various Biot numbers. You just see here 1 by B Biot number values. These are the plots obtained for various 1 by Biot number values. Biot number by calculating C by K, 1 by Biot number by taking. So for various Biot number values and for various Fourier numbers, what is the center plane temperature? We can get it. After getting the center plane temperature, what is this chart is explaining here is, other than center plane, suppose from the center, maybe at 1/4 of the, what is that, outside plane, or 1/4 of the outside, 1/4 from the central plane, or half from the central plane, or at the outermost plane level, or at the outermost plane level, or at the middle level, or at quarter level. If you want to get the temperature after some time, this is the chart we use. This is the chart we use to get the temperature other than the middle plane. Other than the middle plane means how many planes it will have? So infinity planes we can imagine. Different thicknesses you can consider. Different planes we can imagine. So therefore at any plane also to get the temperature after some time, this is the chart we have to use. We don't solve on momentarily by using finite element or finite volume method. So this is, so other than the central plane temperature to get it, this is the chart we will use it. What is the chart? It comprises of, so x-axis it contains of 1 by Biot number. That is HL by K is the Biot number. Then what is 1 by Biot number? K by HL. So HL means LC, characteristic length. That is volume by area. So this is, so what is this curves are representing? This is x by L. X by L means, so that is x means, so from the center at what level we are considering the plane? Is it at quarter level? Is it at half level? Is it at outermost level? That is the x position level. X by what is L? Half of the thickness. Half of the, when the total thickness of the plane is 2L, half of the thickness is L. That x by L by taking for various x by L values, for various 1 by Biot number values, we can get this ratio. What is this ratio? It is saying T at the other than middle plane minus T infinity by T naught minus T infinity. Already T naught is the temperature, middle plane temperature we have got from this chart. And other than the middle plane, if you want to get the temperature, we have to use this chart. If you have the textbook also with you, you can refer this. And what is this third chart it is representing here is, suppose before the solid comes the equilibrium with the surrounding fluid. That means surrounding fluid and the solid to come this equilibrium temperature. Sometime it will take. That may be of 20 minutes, that may be of 15 minutes, that may be of 10 minutes. In that of 15 minutes duration or 20 minutes duration, what is the amount of heat transferred from the solid to medium to calculate? We use this chart. This chart. What is this chart? It is, so that is Q by Q maximum. That is, Q is the amount of heat transferred in so and so time. In so and so time, how much heat has transferred from the solid to surrounding fluid. So to get this value, what is required? Biot number value. Biot number, that must be known for various Biot number values and various. This is Biot number square into, that is T. Biot number square into T, that has to be calculated as x-axis value. And knowing this value and this value, so that by projecting to y-axis, we can get what is Q by Q maximum. Q maximum equal to initial internal energy, that is mc into delta T. So mass of the solid, C is the specific heat of the solid. Initial temperature difference is, so TA is the initial temperature minus surrounding fluid temperature is T infinity. That is the initial initial internal energy of the solid. So then in the cell, in the time of T, what is the amount of heat transferred from the solid to surrounding is, so Q by Q maximum, we are getting some ratio. Q maximum also by knowing as mc into delta T, Q can be obtained. This is when you have considered the, so planes of, so rectangular surfaces. Then when you consider the other solid surfaces, so these are the solids of cylinders. So these are the similar kind of expressions we can